Video is one of the most powerful ways to get your message out. And with AI video generation tools like HeyGen, you can create cinematic videos in minutes. Well, we've taken it a step further. Now you can move beyond the talking head and create dynamic cinematic scenes with real movement in any environment.
Now you can bring up to 3 characters into a single scene. So conversations, presentations, and team interactions feel completely natural.
So instead of recording multiple people, you can generate the entire interaction.
Which means you're not just creating videos, you're building entire scenes.
With Seedance 2.0, HeyGen unlocks a new level of creative control, so you can create dynamic, cinematic videos without limits. Yeah, that's right. The entire sequence you just watched was made entirely inside HeyGen using our latest product feature, Avatar Shots. And honestly, it's kind of wild. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I built that entire sequence step by step inside of HeyGen. We'll cover the prompts, the scene setups, the avatars, and how to get the best results so your shots actually feel cinematic. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so once you're inside the HeyGen dashboard, head over to the avatar section, and there you'll find the new avatar shot feature. When you click on it, you'll land on this interface. You'll notice right away that it's powered by Seedance 2.0. And you'll also see a few sample clips here showing what it can do. Avatar Shot lets you place a digital twin that looks and sounds like you in a cinematic scene, so you can go from static avatars to something that feels way more like a professional production. And because it's powered by Seedance 2.0, you get dynamic, motion-rich video with your avatar as the actor, and not some generic AI person, not a stand-in, but you. You can also use multiple characters and maintain consistency across the scene, which is pretty wild. So yeah, Avatar Shot and Seedance 2.0 are basically the duo everyone didn't know they needed. Kind of like peanut butter and jelly, or mac and cheese, or pineapple and pizza. And yes, I eat fruit on my pizza, don't at me. And this is just one of HeyGen's features powered by Seedance 2.0. We'll cover more of those in future videos. But first, if you're using HeyGen for the first time, you'll need to create an avatar. First, you want to head to the Avatar tab, then click Create Avatar in the top right. You'll see 2 options here: clone a real person or create a virtual character. For this tutorial, choose Clone a Real Person. From there, you can record with your webcam or phone or upload existing footage of yourself. For the best results, make sure your video has clear visuals, clean audio, and at least 15 seconds of speech. I'm going to upload my clip here, and once the avatar is ready, I'll complete the verification video. You can also create additional looks for your avatar in different outfits and environments for more variety. Now that our avatar is ready, let's jump back into the avatar shot and start building. Alright, so now let's create our first scene. In this first shot, the avatar starts seated and delivers the opening line about the power of video. Now, when it comes to prompting, the best place to start is by setting the scene with context. So right at the beginning, I describe the environment, the subject of the video, what the avatar is wearing, and any specific details I want emphasized in the shot. And honestly, I didn't sit there trying to write the perfect prompt from scratch. I basically brain dumped my ideas into ChatGPT's voice mode and talked through the sequence aloud, and then had it summarize everything into something more structured. Now, you can use whatever LLM works best for you here, as long as it has a voice feature that lets you talk through your ideas naturally. It also helps a lot to break the video into separate scenes or shots, also known as beats. So instead of trying to prompt the entire thing all at once, I treat each moment like it's its own setup and clearly state what the avatar should say in that specific part of the sequence. For example, shortly after the first line, I wanted the camera to cut out a side angle with a subtle dolly move, so I specifically directed that in the prompt. And this is where understanding a few basic camera movements can actually go a long way. Things like dolly in, dolly out, push in, whip pan, or side profile give the model way more context on the kind of visual results you actually are going for. Now, if some of those terms feel a bit unfamiliar right now, that's okay. The better you get at describing the movements, the more cinematic control that you'll actually have. Now, for the final shot, I told it to cut back to the main angle and reveal the studio after the last line. To help guide that reveal, I also generated a reference image for what I wanted the full studio to look like using Nano Banana 2. Now, before generating your clip, make sure the correct avatar is selected. You can also click the plus icon to add scene elements or other avatars, which we will cover in a second here. Next, you'll need to set your duration. This is important because it affects the pacing. If the clip is too short, dialogue may speed up and camera movement can feel rushed. Finally, you need to choose your orientation. Portrait for TikToks, Reels, and Shorts, or any other vertical format, or landscape for traditional 16:9 videos like YouTube, things you'll see on your TV. Now, once that's set, you're ready to generate. For scene 2, I pretty much kept it simple. I used the same general approach, selected my avatar, and pasted in the prompt and clearly described the scene. I specified that the environment should feel like an extension of the first clip, and then added the dialogue along the avatar's movements and actions. And just like before, I was intentional about the camera direction. In this case, I wanted the camera to track backwards so that my avatar stayed facing the camera as he walked, right up to the moment until he reached the door. That one detail makes a huge difference because it helps the motion feel more purposeful instead of random as it transitions into the next scene. And with that scene done, let's move on to the next one. Now for scene 3, we get into one of the most powerful features, multi-character support. That means that you can add more than one character to a scene, which makes it possible to build conversations, presentations, and group scenarios without extra production. For this one, I wanted the setup to feel more dynamic right from the start. So once again, I established the scene clearly in the prompt, but this time I made sure the camera was dollying as Michael opened the door to create a smoother transition into the boardroom. As Michael enters, Yuna has already started speaking in the background, which immediately makes the scene feel more active and realistic. And while Michael is entering, the camera pans to reveal both Yuna presenting in position and Jodie on screen. Now you'll also notice that Yuna naturally gesticulates while she speaks. This was intentional, and it's something I called out inside of the prompt. And just like with scene 1, I broke the prompt into beats, so the model knew exactly who should speak and when. So first, Yuna speaks while Michael and Jodie stay silent. And then, Michael speaks. And finally, Jodie delivers the last line from the screen. Now, I'll be honest, this one took a few iterations to get right. In fact, one early generation accidentally put Yuna on the TV screen, and then that kind of sparked the idea to intentionally add a third avatar. Now, with Seedance 2.0, you can currently add up to 3 avatars in the scene. You can also include other realistic people in the shot like I did here, but they won't be able to speak the way your main avatars can. You see, once I gave the model more context and got way more specific about who was speaking and who should stay silent, the results got a lot better. And once this clip was working, the final scene was pretty straightforward. Okay, so for the final scene, I used the same general approach. I described the scene, the movement, the dialogue, and how I wanted the shot to end. Now, this one took 2 tries, mostly because the text at the end wasn't rendering accurately the first time. Now, that could have been partly user error since I didn't emphasize the spelling enough in my original prompt. So in the second version, I gave it clear instructions to preserve the exact spelling, and it worked beautifully. And you may want to consider this anytime you have to use text in your video. Alright, so once all the scenes were generated the way I wanted, I downloaded each clip and stitched everything together in the right order inside of Final Cut Pro. Now, Final Cut Pro is my editor of choice, but you can use whatever editor works best for you. And if you're in the market for a few recommended editors, I'll drop a few good free editing options in the description below. So, what do you think? We'd love to hear your feedback in the comments about this new integration, because honestly, this unlocks a new level of creative possibilities. You're not just limited to static talking head videos anymore. You can now create scenes with movement, energy, and a way more cinematic control. And yeah, you probably could make a whole movie with this thing. As always, if you want to try HeyGen, the link is in the description. And if this tutorial helped you out, hit like and subscribe for more content on how to get the best results from AI video creation inside of HeyGen. Alright, that's it for this one. I'll catch you in the next video.